Hello and welcome to another video here at Movie Mash, and today we're going to talk about the new Black Widow, Marvel's Black Widow, currently playing on Disney Plus and is in cinemas worldwide. Now, we got the super hot Scarlett Johansson. Seriously, can't I say she's hot? We also have David Harbour, we got Florence Pugh, and we also got the equally hot Rachel Wells. Come on, give me a break. They're hot, can't I say that? So the story goes, it's in between Winter Soldier and Civil War, where Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, is having to confront and deal with some of her past when she used to be a spy. And she's dealing with some broken family issues from the past way before she was an Avenger. And in between all that, she has an unstoppable force, I won't say who and get into spoilers, on her back all the way through. So this movie has been put off so many times over the last year due to COVID, and it's finally here. But I want to say is I don't know much about Black Widow, the character. I'm a big superhero fan in case you didn't realise. But she's just someone I'm not very familiar with. And watching the Avenger movies, I got to know her a little bit, and you see bits and pieces of who she was and what she's done. And I always felt like she was in the Avengers trying to help and make up for some past and shady stuff that she had done. Now, for me, I thought that could be a good film, a good story. Finding out, not like Iron Man and all that, they're all good and clean sort of thing. But just let's see what some dark and shady stuff that she's done. And I thought it'd be a good film. And here we go. We've got it. So straight into positives. The acting is really good. You have some heavyweights on this with Scarlett Johansson, who's proven herself to be a really good actress more than once. And also she's super hot. Missed. And we also have David Harbour. He's actually a really good actor. I mean, we all know him from Stranger Things, and he played Hellboy there a year or so ago. Let's not get into that. The film was shit. He was good though. And we also got Florence Pugh. Now, I knew I recognised her from something. It bothered me. I was like, what's this? She's from a film called Midsummer, some kind of a psychological horror. And yeah, anyway, getting on, we have Rachel Welch, who also is super hot. Missed. And I want to say is, did they do some de-aging thing on her? Because she looks literally the same as she did on The Mummy, which was 20 years ago. But she also is a good actress. And together, that worked. They did a good job, and I can't fault them for that. We also get an actor, which I was happy to see, called Ray Winstone. He's not massive in Hollywood, but over in the UK, we love him. And it was good to see him on it. People probably know him from, in the US, from Departed and Indiana Jones 4. But as I said, he was on it. Good to see him. The CGI was really good. As you can imagine, it being a Marvel film, they're not going to hold back. It's going to be full whack with this, and you can't fault that. The fighting and the action was really good too, but as good as it was, I have a negative, and I'll get into that in a minute. Now, I thought the dialogue was pretty good. You see, there was a lot of stuff that they didn't show, but they were explaining it. And the problem is with that, sometimes you're like, all right, but no, it was explained pretty well. And I thought, yeah, all right, if you're not going to show it, you did a good job in explaining that. So it was done. Yeah, that was good. So on to negatives. For me, it's probably more of a nitpick than a negative. It's hard to say if it is, but I was hoping for a little bit darker because, you know, of the story and the situation of what she was in and what she used to do. And I felt like that was a missed opportunity. It wasn't, it had moments, but I felt like Marvel should have taken a chance and gone a bit darker, but I feel like they played it safe. And, you know, just for me, I felt like a missed opportunity. Just on the side note, I think it would have been good if it was like a TV series, like what they're doing with Loki and all that. But I think with Scarlett Johansson being a big, massive star and all kinds of stuff, they had to make it into a film. But, you know, now, as I said about the action, as I said, it was good. But my problems with the action is that I wasn't worried about her at any point. It felt like Fast and Furious 9 and all the Fast and Furious, I didn't feel like she was in any real danger ever. Even though what she was doing was dangerous, it felt like there was no consequences for what she was doing. You felt like, yeah, go for it. I mean, even if she tried to look a bit more worried about certain things she was going, because she was doing stuff that humans would find hard, even the best of us, especially me, because I can do anything. But the thing is that when you're doing stunts like this and you haven't got like superpowers, you should look a bit worried. And when you watch the film, I don't want to say too much about it, but the stuff that she's doing is pretty good. But again, the fighting choreography was really good, and the problem was it was a bit shaky, Cam. It should have, I would prefer to see that, and it kept jumping from one scene back to it while something else was going at the same time. I'd have preferred to see the whole fight in full, because the choreography is good, and I was like more interested in that fight rather than going back to the other scene. But again, it's just me. Maybe everyone else is different. Now, the bad guy, Taskmaster, I felt like he wasn't. I felt like he was a bit bland. I felt like there could have been more to him. He was a badass, but I just felt like he's one of the weakest Marvel kind of bad guys I've ever seen, and it was a bit of a letdown. Probably not as bad as Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool on Wolverine Origins, but yeah, they could have flushed out more. Now, Rachel Welch, I really wish that she had a bit more to do on this. I'm not going to moan, like it was good enough. It's just, it would have been, I'd like to have seen her do a bit more. But again, just, I don't know if that's more of a nitpick. As I said, I felt like it could have done with being a bit darker, a bit more sinister, a little bit more shady. And it was a little in parts, but I think because Marvel was always trying to play it safe. And just this one time, I wish they took a bit of a risk, but they didn't. I felt like it would have benefited from that. But, you know, family film, Marvel. So another negative. I really wish the film was a bit more interesting. I found it was okay. I think if it was darker, like I said, it would have made it more grittier. And as she's a spy back in the day and she done some dodgy stuff. But as I said, they played it safe and I wish they hadn't. So I'm not going to go on about it. It's just I didn't find it that interesting. Now, apart from that, and overall, I thought the film was quite enjoyable. It was just a bang / CGI action movie. And yeah, I probably would watch it again. Yeah, I mean, I recommend it. But for now, I'm going to have to give this a side thumb. So I just want to talk about something on the side note. Something I've been hearing with the last few days, and I'm not impressed with it. There's an actor out there called Stephen Dorff. I don't know if you've heard of him or know him or who has. I actually really like the actor. I liked him through the 90s, and he's actually an underrated and underused actor. His biggest film was probably Blade. He played Deacon Frost in Blade. Yeah, as I said, in the 90s did some good things. But recently, he's been slagging off Black Widow, and that's fine if you don't like superhero movies. You know, that's up to you. I mean, you have your right. But he's slagging off the film, and he said he was embarrassed for Scarlett Johansson playing it and being on the movie. And I was like, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, and I was disappointed that he said that. As I said, I like him. And I'm like, you were on a fucking superhero movie. You played Deacon Frost on Blade, so what are you fucking on about? And it's alright if you don't like superhero movies, and that's up to you. But don't knock the people that are on it. I mean, yeah, sure, it's big money, but I just don't. You shouldn't insult her the way she's. I mean, she is a good actress, and she's been nominated for so many awards. I don't know how many, but quite a few. So to knock her like that, I think it's unprofessional. Not that I am a professional, but I think it's unprofessional, and he shouldn't have done it. And I'm really disappointed in him for doing that. And shame on you, Stephen Dorff. So I want to know: do you find Scarlett Johansson as hot as I do? Well, they didn't get me this time. Oh! Now, have you seen this movie? Are you going to watch it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you feel like I do? Please let me know in the comments below and subscribe and like as normal. But for now, and until next time...